from the top of their head to the tip of their toes. The whole thing is involved, but particularly thinking. I tell all my students 98% of singing is thinking.
And now I tell my students that too.
That's exactly right. But it is. You think, you hear a sound, you think a sound, and you can then produce that sound when you let the breath flow through this wonderful instrument. And so you have to learn how to do that. And that doesn't come overnight.
No.
Not to make a really good sound. If you want to make a natural sound, little babies make it the moment they start to cry. They're making sound, and they're making healthy sound.
That's right, and their diaphragm's working.
Everything is working to make that sound in the most perfect way. And the trouble is that as we get older and start to mimic other sounds that we hear, we start to do things in our throat that's not quite as healthy. I wouldn't say it's unnatural, I'd say it's capable. The voice is capable of making all sorts of animal sounds, all sorts of sounds that are fun, but they're not all healthy. It's why when you go to a sports match at school and you're all barracking for your team, you go home that night with a sore throat.
That's right, and I mean, health is important, especially if we are singers, we're actors or teachers or auctioneers or anybody who's using their voice. I mean, you can't afford to lose the voice.
No, that's right. Not if you want to be a professional voice user, and that's everybody. Teachers.
That's right.
Everybody has to become very aware of having healthy sounds. You only have to go and talk to an ear, nose and throat specialist, and he'll tell you about the number of people he sees every day who are having vocal problems because they're not producing sounds in a healthy way. So it's not terribly, it's not terribly involved. It's just knowing how the body works and then allowing the body to do the work for you.
Exactly.
I never intended to be a teacher of singing. This was a direction in my life that was very, you just came on the life's journey, and
it found you.
It found me, that's right. And my very first student, I took when I was about 22 years old or something, asked me to teach her because she wanted to improve her voice, and she knew I'd been a trained singer. So that's how it started, and it's been going ever since.
I know.
And here it is, still going all those years later. But I do think that you have to have a love. If you are going to be a teacher of anything, a teacher of voice, a teacher of sport, a teacher of good living, any sort of teacher, a teacher in a school, you have to love what you're doing. And if you don't, you won't do it well, because you won't want to do your best with it all the time. I want my students to know everything I know about the human voice. There's no secret way. There's just, and I don't have any secret ways better than probably any other teacher, except that I have this passion. I have a real passion about the human voice,
and you make us
love
work.
it. And I make you work. I tell my students the truth from the day they come in and audition for me. I don't ever palaver to them. Palaver is an old word, you probably won't know. But I don't tell them things that aren't true just to make them happy. I'll tell them what's true, and I'll tell them what's not true. And I don't give a criticism unless I can give them the solution to that.
She does criticize
But in a good
way. In a good way.
It's a correction.
It is.
My theory teacher, a darling lady I went to many years ago, said to me, don't be afraid to make a mistake, because it's by your mistakes you learn.
Absolutely.
And so then once you've learned what you've done incorrectly, and you're told how to do it correctly,
I'm going to be an absolute genius. Because I made plenty.
No, it's just learning this instrument, and it's a hard instrument because you cannot see it, you cannot touch it, you cannot put your fingers on it.
No, that's right.
You have to hear it, and you have to train your outer ear to hear your own sound so that you can do corrections.
Yeah.
And that takes a long time, because nearly all your life you listen to your sound with your inner ear, not your external ear. You see a lot of singers putting their hands up behind their ears to make their ears bigger, to hear their sounds, and it's an entirely different sound. And now the scientists tell us that each ear hears individually differently. So sometimes you've got to find out which ear hears the best.
Yeah, that's right.
And you see, there's that old saying, you don't, there are none so blind as those who won't see. Yeah. So you've got to listen, none so deaf as those who won't listen. And so the listening to the sound, listening to your own sound, is a really, really important part of learning about
the
voice.
skill. That's right.
The skill.
It's a skill, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. I hope you've all enjoyed that. We're going to have Patricia on a bit more. And I hope you all subscribe to my YouTube channel and Lunar Dreaming for more little pearls of wisdom, as Patricia says, in singing.
And if you have any questions you'd like to ask Barbara, or Barbara can pass them on to me.
Can.
Let's have a little talk about voice.
Absolutely.
Not just singing, about voice. Yes, singing is singing songs, and it's like ballet. Ballet expresses music through dance. We express music through the human voice.
Absolutely. What a wonderful thing to do.
Yes, it is. All your brain lights up when you sing.
Yeah, that's right. That's
all lights up. And we get all those wonderful endorphins running around our body and making us healthy and strong.
Oh, absolutely. I think it keeps me happy.
Making our immune system strong.
Absolutely. So there's so many benefits to get out there and sing, people. I hope you'll join us in more conversations and have a lovely day. Bye.